Hey, how are you? This is Katie. I got a request for level 3. Somebody's having a little bit of a problem. Um, that's okay. Ignore this. My daughter bumped the table. So, that was awesome. Um, so, a woman wrote me a message wanting me to kind of go over transition strokes with her. So I decided to do that for you all. A couple things. I'm using this latex is that PMU. What is it called again? PMU products. It's very similar to Fee. Fee latex. Another feature is right here, you can draw on these or do your strokes without any pigment, which is nice. The only problem is that this is not the Fee shape. Well, not this one. This one's pretty similar, the stamp, but it's not the Fee shape. Actually, this is different. This is Melly microblading. It's pretty similar, but again, not the shape that Fee is looking for. The stamp, however, is something I got on Etsy, and it's gigantic. So it's way bigger or larger than an actual human brow would be. But I guess in this scenario, it might be actually kind of nice for practice. There's a little more room. Then again, I guess playing devil's advocate, it could go the opposite way and do harm. I'm obviously using my BFF, my disposable eccentric U-blade, which again, I've told you guys in my other videos and comments on Craftmaster, this thing, I've had this one now, I've used this for over a week. The key is just make sure you keep it clean and dry, and you're gonna get, pretty crisp strokes no matter what. So I'll just show you right here so you can have a little reference as to how we're talking, it's sharp. It's ready to go. Okay. So, transition strokes. So as most of you know, I took a live course, which is very different than the online course, especially if you speak English. What I've noticed is, you're having to pay attention, also read and listen to a different language at the same time, which can be pretty confusing if you ask me. But the method is beautiful. The outcome is beautiful, but if you can't really understand what's being told to you, that's kind of hard. That's why I benefited from a live course, because I had somebody talk to me one-on-one about my strokes and my progress. Okay, so I've already done some head strokes there. This was again for my first video, but my 5-year-old bumped me and hooked me up. I was taught a little differently. I was taught to do T1, then T3, and then T2. Now, I think on the online course, it's obviously T1, T2, T3. But either way, however it works for you, works for me. I'm just going to show you how I was taught. So again, I'm using my little pigment cup with a sponge so that we pick up as little pigment as possible. So your first stroke after your head strokes is going to be pretty long, and it's going to veer off just a little from this fourth stroke here. Are we clear? We are clear. Okay. It's not clearing up.
Oh, so there you were.
There we go. Okay. So this one, like I said, is going to pull up and go over. Okay, now we're going to do the first T-stroke, which this one is going to start a little lower than midway. And come up. Now I'm going to do T3 rather than T2 next. Again, that's how I was taught. And pull that up. Just a slight angle on this one, because you're going to be forming the half moon shape here, which is also going to be your guide for your spine. So I'm going to just turn that just a little bit. And we're going to go right in between here. So a good, halfway, right? In between these two. And I think that's probably why I learned this way, is because it's just a guide to know where to stay. There we go. Now, from this point, you would start your spine line, and that would come down, and then that's a different level. So again, you put that fifth long stroke in. Right, let's highlight that. I'll go over it a little more. So you could help it like comes out. Then this guy. Remember, your key is to just use your twist with your hand, not your wrist. Or twist your fingers, not your wrist. On this little precious guy here. And there you go. I hope that helped you a little bit. Let me know what you think.